Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today and the next few days are going to be kind of bittersweet because next week Mario and Luigi go to process. And it seems like just yesterday that we brought those big butts home. But this is our first time setting up in this corner. As if y'all have watched the videos, you've seen the whole building process of the pig pen that they're in now and bringing their house home and everything. Last year we had a much smaller setup, and what we ended up doing with the 3 pigs last year when we took them to process, we brought the trailer down here and backed it right up to the pig pen, and they had a day or two to kind of venture up into it themselves. And that's the same concept that we're going for this time around, only it's going to be a little bit more difficult probably because we have 4 pigs and only 2 of them are getting processed next week, and then Stripey and Red will go in July. But what Dirk has done, he's borrowed his uncle's trailer and was able to get it backed up down here so that the fence is still on, yet they don't have any way to escape, essentially. And we've done the same thing, put the ramp up. Well, I'm gonna try and get over here. The fence is on and I'm doing this. Okay, here we go. I gotta go all the way around to unplug it, and I'm just being lazy at the risk of my own safety. But what do you think, Stripey? Come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. They're more they've been more interested in chewing on the ramp than actually attempting to climb up it or see what it's for. And of course, I'm out of cookies, so I don't really have anything to lure them with. But I have a feeling if we stop and pick up some cookies today and then I get up in the trailer, I have a feeling they'll be following me up in it pretty quickly. What do you think? Come on, buddy. Woof. Come on. And we've added some straw and a bin of food here just to kind of entice them. Come on, buddy. Doesn't know what to think. And last year Dirk built the ramp here, and they were able to get up fairly easily once they figured it out. It did take them a few tries to really trust themselves to walk up the boards without fear of sliding down and falling off. So I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. Dirk's off getting his dad's mower, bringing it home so I can attempt to mow tomorrow. The grass is getting out of control again, of course, but I'm just gonna sit here for a few minutes. And oh, I see Stripey's got a big stick laying on the fence, so I'm gonna have to go unplug the fence and get that off. I'm brave enough to step over it right there because I have the feed trough that I can kind of launch myself over. I'm not brave enough to go and mess with the fence in any other capacity. So let's go turn that off. I'll leave this set up here. Maybe one of the pigs, it would be my luck, they would get curious and come after it when I don't have the waterproof protective case on it, so. If you hear me scream, I got zapped. What you doing, big pigs? What are you doing? All right, the fence is off, so let's go get this removed. Oh, y'all have gotten it a nice mess over here, haven't you? Good thing I'm not wearing my new dudes. I don't even know. That must have fallen. Oh, goodness. Gotta watch out for you, Stripey, don't I? Mr. Nibble Monster, huh? Okay. Come on. Woo! They about witnessed me bust my butt. I'm kind of tempted to close off the entrance of their house to kind of force them to take some more interest in here. I think once they realize it's shelter up in here, they'll be a lot more likely to voluntarily walk up. What do you think, Mario? I'm gonna miss you, big guy. What you doing, Luigi? You want to be the first? They're more interested in deconstructing the ramp. Come on, buddy. You can do it. I know they're not going to do it while I'm here. I'll probably, if I had to bet, I'd say probably in the morning when I come down here to do my chores. They'll probably be up here, or at least there'll be evidence that they were up here. Hopefully they don't flip it. I guess it's good that they've got 3 full days and then the rest of today to kind of sniff around and get used to it. And I think we're supposed to get a lot of rain on Sunday, maybe 70% chance of storms the last time I looked. I think that if they haven't been up before then and we go ahead and close the door, put a block or something on the door to their house, I think that they'll find their way up in here pretty quickly. But at the same time, I don't want to leave them out getting soaked if they decide to be stubborn. What do you think, Mario? What do you think, buddy? Boy, I'm gonna miss you. You've been such a good pig. Such a good boy. I think I mentioned before that the last 3 pigs that we had last year, they were all little girls. And I think Dirk called them 4-H rejects. They weren't exactly the pigs that he wanted to get to raise up. These were. And they've just been an absolute joy to take care of every day. And, you know, it's the tough part of farming and doing what we do, having to say goodbye to such awesome animals. But like we say, you know, they have a great life and one bad day. So they've still got a few good days ahead of them. Here in the next few days, I'll probably be spoiling them, Mario and Luigi especially, with a bunch of treats and a bunch of cookies. But I think I'm gonna leave it there today. Gave y'all a little idea of how we're gonna lure them up. I'm hoping that we can catch them when just the big 2 are up in here and not all 4 of them. But if not, we'll see. I guarantee I will be getting that part of the process on camera. Hopefully. I don't know yet when we're going to have to go be at the processing plant next week. And if it's just Dirk and I loading them up and it's too chaotic, I may just have to set the camera down. But I'd like to try to get it filmed so that y'all can see the whole process. Y'all saw us bring them home, so it's only fitting. And then we'll have another month with Stripey and Red. And we'll still be getting more pigs. I believe the guy, and I'm sorry if you're watching and I completely forgot your name. I am horrible with names. But I believe he said that he won't have any more ready for us until probably September, mid to late September. But I'm pretty sure that Dirk's wanting to bring home 8 this next time around. And when we do that, this is obviously a little bit small for 8 pigs. I mean, it would work when they're smaller, but when they get bigger, they like to have space in case they get in arguments, tussle, you know, do what pigs do. But we have all this empty grass right here between the bean field and our little random field with, I'll actually show you in a second, it's pretty funny. But we're gonna just extend the electric fence out that way so they'll have all of this still. And once Stripey and Red leave, what we're gonna do, I think, is just go and buy a ton of grass seed. That's what we did behind the fence along the row there. If you look back towards the first couple of pig videos and when we were constructing the fence, that was all dirt. And we threw down a bunch of grass seed, mainly to help the root system because it's starting to kind of slide down there on the edge of the hill. But I think that we're just going to throw a bunch of seed in here, and hopefully in those few months between then and when we get the next set of pigs, hopefully there'll be a decent amount of grass and weeds in here again so that they can get to eating and rooting and feeling at home right away. But we will also have, with our next batch, we'll have both of our other feeders set up, and we'll have either 1 or 2 more water stations, or Dirk mentioned getting one really big feeder. So we'll see how it goes. But let me take you out and show you our little volunteer garden, as I like to call it. Okay, so while you're over here, you can kind of see this whole area, this whole rectangle here is where we kept the pigs last year. And Dirk's got some stuff planted on this side. I forget what he planted. But if you come over here and you look closely, obviously we've got a bunch. I don't know if these are gourds or pumpkins. Could be squash. But if you'll look, all of these volunteer tomato plants, there's at least 60 or 70 down here. It's pretty much nothing but volunteer tomato plants. One of the main reasons that Dirk wanted to get into pigs last year was because the year before, we didn't really have anything to do with all of the produce that spoiled before we could sell it or eat it. And he had it in his mind that he wanted to get into pigs, and that kind of sealed the deal for him, was so that we could do something with our produce instead of just letting it go bad. And when you do that and you feed your pigs a bunch of tomatoes and a bunch of other veggies, you're bound to have some volunteers, and I can't wait to see what those tomato plants do. They might not do anything since they're so overcrowded right there, and I'm not going to do anything in terms of trimming them or thinning them out or anything. I'm just going to see what nature wants to do with them. But it'll be fun to see as the season goes on. But I'm gonna leave it at that and look forward in a few days to our video where we attempt, hopefully very successfully, and hopefully it doesn't take very long, to get the pigs loaded up into the trailer and taken off. And thanks for tagging along as always. And like we like to say here on Mama Bear's Homestead and More, keep on keeping on, friends.